everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ksao Talk Show. Today we are going to code Emacs Lisp. Emacs Lisp coding and maybe random something. Okay, if you came here for the girl, that's generated by artificial intelligence. Fantastic. A few days ago, we talked about artificial intelligence generating images. So I'm not that girl. And we are just going to do Emacs Lisp coding, so programming. So, so Emacs Lisp coding. So let's, shall we begin? So my keyboard, Glove 80, Ultimate Hacking Keyboard, Nulia trackball, and this fantastic device. I have a review for each one of them. This one is Svalboard, Svalboard. So very fantastic, interesting input devices and keyboard. You can check my YouTube and you can see, watch their reviews. If you are watching online, say hi, hello, stay flat. If you are watching offline, play at 1.5 speed and skip around because I ramble a lot. Okay, Emacs Lisp coding. So what is the task we're gonna do? So let's begin. Let's begin. Okay, remember I ramble a lot, so skip around 1.5 speed. So we are going to code Emacs Lisp, this task. Okay, we are going to write a command that rename every file in a website directory, like thousands of files, 10,000 files. Rename it, retitle it. That is, for example, in a HTML file, you have this title tag and also the H1 heading tag. So, so for example, let's go to talk show page. Let me show you what is the task. For example, show in browser. This is today's talk show, Ksao Talk Show 2024, September 17th, episode 586. Okay, let's say I want to rename it. Let's show another example. I've been blogging for 30 years. So I have like literally 10,000 HTML web pages, and oftentimes I want to rename the file. So let me show you an example. Okay, let's say commands. If you are here, say hi. Okay, comments. Hello, Huang. Happy autumn, Chinese autumn. The mooncake day. That is the second biggest festivity in Asia, China, Japan, Southeast Asia. 中秋节快乐. So we eat mooncakes. Okay, let's go back to the code. So I want to, for example, let's say I want to rename a file. Okay, insert datetime. So let's say insert datetime. Okay, so you see, so I copy the URL. Back to Emacs, okay, back to Emacs, open that page, showing browser, so this is the page. So search for insert, so insert datetime, so open that, showing browser. By the way, I'm using Xafly keys, okay. Xafly keys, search for it, you'll find it. It's an efficient Emacs key binding system, more efficient than Vim. And on the pink window is all my command call names, or keystrokes on the left as I type them, as I, for example, delete the entire, main block. So undo, showing browser. So here's a page, insert datetime. So close that. So I want to rename this. Let's say I want to rename it to datetime stamp. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to find all occurrences of this path. So for example, let's search for it. Search in this directory, search all HTML extension, file name extension. Is it going? Yeah, okay. So you can see here's all their occurrences. So show all the file path. So you can see you got like 14 files. In this case, 14 files links to this page. Okay, so if you want to rename the title of this page, that means you need to rename to each and every of these occurrence. Okay, so for example, here. So insert datetime, that needs to be insert datetime stamp. Okay, actually we need to change here. So you see, I need to redo. Let's do that. Okay, so you see over here the link is insert datetime, but the file name, let's do that. Okay, so you see the title, the title on that page is insert datetime plus a rocket. A rocket sign means like it's my own command. It's not part of Emacs, so it's like enhanced command. So anyway, so we want to rename that to that. Okay, so normally what you do is you copy this file path, copy this part, okay, and then you just do, let me show you. So there's this command, find replace text, you can see in the pink window. So you want to find this text, enter, and replace string. So what do you want to replace string be? So it will be that plus the rocket and plus the says Emacs in front. Okay, so say yes, and which directory? Let's say in this directory. This is my website document root. Okay, enter, file path regular expression .html extension, yes, write changes to file, yes. Okay, you can say no. So if you say no, it's just testing. It will generate a report. It's taking a while because it's going over 10,000, 20,000 files for the first time. So the disk has to load into memory. But once you do that, then it's fast. Okay, so you can see there are like 4 files changed, because only 4 files that's using this title, that link text. Okay, so now if you refresh this page, you see, so that's changed. Okay, so but what we want to do, so remove that, go back here, show in browser. So what we want to do is that instead of manually doing this every time I call find replace and type and directory name and file name extension, I want to simply put my cursor here and call the command, and then it will ask me the new name, new title, okay, the new link text, okay, and it will just automatically change through the entire xali.info directory. There are over like 8,000 or so HTML files, plus some 20 more thousand JPEG or image files and so on. So yeah, so that's the command we're gonna write. Okay, so let's do that. So let's go to talk show. Okay, let's put a link there so we have a record of the links we showed. Okay, so insert datetime, so go there, so also copy that page. Okay, so we those are the files I changed or need to change. Okay, so let's start Emacs Lisp. Okay, so hold on a second, show in browser, close, next, show in browser. Okay, copy that, close, back here, close, and also paste that link. So that's all my Emacs commands. You can get them free. Okay, so they are enhanced Emacs commands for you Emacs users. Okay, so now let's start to code Emacs Lisp. Okay, so this is kind of documentation. So I got an example there. So D for define, I'm using XAR Emacs Lisp mod. So you can see in the mod line, the status line here, XAR Emacs Lisp mod. You can buy it, pay me, you get it free, and pay as a donation, and it's open source. It was free for 10 years, but I don't get money. Okay, so define a function. So what's the name? So the XAR HTML rename title, or okay, let's just name that for now. Okay, so this is gonna rename HTML title for all HTML files of the file path of the current cursor is on current web router. Okay, so created date, version date for documentation purposes. Okay, and title and h1 and the link text. Okay, so not just, so you have to rename the page's title, the page's h1 header, and also whatever file that links to the page, the link text. Okay, so that is the task. So go back here. Okay, that's the task. So first of all, you need to, so given, so what is this? Showing browser. Okay, we don't care about that. Close that. Showing browser. So the first thing we need to do when we want to rename is to get the file path. You know, what file, which file it refers to exactly. So we need to get the file path. So let's show you. So how do you get the file path? The beginning and end positions of the file path. So you can do thing at point, okay, not that, bounds of thing at point. Okay, that will return the boundary, which is 2 positions, integers, that the file path begin and end. So here we will just say a file name. Okay, file name. So you can also get the line, get the number, get the white spaces, and so on. If you are new here, you know, check out my Emacs blog. I mean, Emacs tutorial. So there are like 800 pages tutorial on Emacs and Emacs Lisp. So Emacs Lisp, practical Emacs Lisp. So go there and you got a section on thing at point. So this will teach you all about how do you grab a current word, current sentence, current identifier, or current URL, or current file path. So it can be, you know, word, symbol, number, white space, line, or sentence, or page, you know, so on. And you can also get their boundary. So there's the example. So my Emacs Lisp tutorial. So let's go back here. Showing browser. Go back here. Go to talk show. Go to talk show. So let's paste the link here. So it's things we talked about. So that you, yeah, my tutorial. Okay, so you can buy it. Of course, you can, you know, if you like my stuff, sponsor me. Just buy my tutorial. You can see here. Okay. So okay, close that. Now let's continue to write this. So we need to declare 2 local variables: x begin, x end. That's 2 positions, and set sequence. Set. This is a new. This function set sequence set q is a new feature in Emacs Lisp about by now 10 years ago. So it allowed you to set a, for example, you have a list of 2 things, A, B. So you can set them in one shot, you know, set them to these 2 variables. So the value we want is this. Okay, so like that. Okay, so let's, okay, so we got the boundary of the file path. Then we need, okay, then another new variable, file path. Okay, so set q file path. Then you want to get the text between those boundaries, which are 2 positions, numbers. So what you call is get buffer substring, no properties. Okay. buffer substring no properties. Okay, so x begin x end completion. I'm using, by the way, heapy expand. That's a very useful command. That's what I use to for completion. So you get, so the now x file path is a string of the file path. Then once you find the file path, you need to get the full path. X file full path. Okay, so a new variable we declare local variable here. So you want to set file full path. So you typically in a file I use relative links. So relative links is hard to work with. You usually, when you work with files, you always want the entire full file path. You know, the proper name is fully qualified file name. Usually I just call it file path. It's more sensible. So anyway, so get full path. So how do you turn a relative name to a full file path? To do that, what you need is you need the current file path. So current file path. So let's do that. So so when you have a file, for example, this file, SoundTalk Show, how do you know what is the current directory? So interactively, you can use dir jump. You see dir jump. So you jump to the directory the file is in, so which is this file. Go to the top, you can see, so that is the directory. You can copy it, new buffer, paste it. You can see, so that is the current directory. But how do you do it programmatically? So that way, so to do that, you just say default directory, okay? Now that's a global variable, built-in global variable, whose value is the directory of the current buffer or file. So for example, show it. So we can see the documentation default directory is a variable defined in C source code. Its value is this. So this value is actually the parent directory of this file. For example, go to dir jump, go to the top, you can see they check out. So this is the parent directory. Now, how do you get this current file's file full path? To do that, you can say buffer file name. Okay, buffer file name is also a local it's a global variable. It's built-in global variable, so you can describe variable to read the documentation. So buffer file name is a variable defined in C source code. The current value is that. So if you call that, you just open the current file. So we got the current file, we got the parent directory. You want the relative path. Okay, so relative. So let's rename this. Relative path. Okay, you want to turn the relative path to a full path. So what you do is there's a function called file name relative name. There it is. Okay, so you need the directory and you need the file name. So the file name is x relative file. Okay, path. The directory name would be the parent directory of the current buffer, current files parent directory. So let's not use this. Let's get the parent directory of that. So to get when you have a file path, you want the parent directory, what you do is file name directory. Okay, that's how you get the parent directory. So you put buffer file name here. Okay, that's the directory. So directory will be that. Okay, so then you set the value to the full path. So that's how you get the file name full path. So for example, we can try this. So right now, let's just print the file name full path, okay? Full path is, okay? Now we evaluate the entire buffer, and let's just call it XR rename title all, okay? Run it. Wrong type of argument, integer p marker nil. So we got something wrong here. Dan V, hello Dan. Dan says, I can imagine having to organize, update thousands of HTML files. Yeah, that's, you know, that is kind of like shocking if you are new to it, but because I've been coding HTML starting manually in Microsoft Word since 1997. So after 30 years, you pick up, you know what to do. I mean, so in the beginning, of course, there's one, you start with one file. Then, after a year, you have maybe 10 files or 50 or 100 files. So over the years, then you started to get into the problem. Once you have, let's say, 500 files, then you started to, you got a new issue of management or things, or directory organization and things like that. So, over the years, you just gradually learn more things, or fix things you need to do, or pick up ways to do them. So, okay, so now it says error. So wrong type of argument, okay, somewhere. Now when you have an error in Emacs Lisp, you see it doesn't, right now it doesn't tell you where it came from. I know where it came from because I've been coding Emacs Lisp for like 15 years, at least 20 years by now. So, but how do you do it? So usually you turn on, let's see, this command, okay? So, yeah. So you just call toggle debug on error. So let's call it meta x toggle debug on error, okay? So do it. Then you call that command again, XHTML rename title all. Then you see now it tells you the full detail. So where did it go wrong? It's because of this. You see, nil, buffer substring no properties. It's supposed to take two arguments of two integers, but we got nil, so that's why. So so we fix that. It's somewhere here. So this begin end is not set. Oh yeah, so I know why. Because this is very annoying. Because this bound of things at point, it returns a const pair. So it returns something like this. Okay. So you see, this bound of thing returns a pair like that, const pair. But this set sequence, it doesn't accept a const pair. It accepts a list, a vector, or a string, a sequence. But the const pair is not a, so it's not a list, is not a sequence. So it's very annoying. This is a problem. This is one of the major problem of Lisp programming language, the cons. Okay. Now, if you ask Lisp people, some disagree. In fact, if you ask Richard Stallman, he says cons is the most important thing. But that's kind of Asian thought. So const pair is a problem. So that's why. So what can you do? You can yeah. So this is tedious. So let me show you what you can do with by that. Okay. So what you can do is that you, for example, you let x boundaries, and okay. So let x boundary be that. Then you say here set begin car x boundary, okay? Then set x end cadre x boundary, okay? Car means the first part of con. Cadre means the second part. it's named that way because of history, like Lisp history, 40 years old Lisp history, so it's weird. Anyway, that basically just means the first part and the second part. So if you do that, let me put that here. Okay, so let's clean up. So this is how you set the beginning and end position if you want to use bounds of thing at point. So you see, but over here sequence set is much better. Okay, let's not, we can, so what we can do is we can convert this const pair to a list by okay, so let's just show how to do that if you want to use the set sequence, because this form is much more simpler and provide clarity, because you can see this beginning and end, they are positions, they come in pairs, beginning and end. So you usually, so you want to set them together usually. And also this block of code tells you right away you are trying to set variables. But if you use this block, it's more complicated, right? And you have to declare another new local variable. So anyway, if you want to use this set sequence set sequence set form, what you can do is convert this thing into a list. Okay, how you do that is you just well, easiest way is just say append. Okay, append. Yeah, it's const is a problem. Const is tedious. Let's see. Yeah, const is tedious. You see, it's not even easy to convert a const to a list because you need to get into the second part. Let's not worry about it, okay? Let's not worry about it. Let's just use this code. Another way is so you don't use these bounds of thing at point, But anyway, this command bound of thing at point is ancient, like 20 or 30 years old. So, for example, let's look up documentation, describe function. So you can see it's defined in thing at point. So you open that, expand the window, go to the top. So it began in 1991. So it's 35 years old. It's not likely to change because of the backward compatibility. So anyway, let's just do this, okay? I have other ways, of course, but let's just do this. So we get the beginning and position, we get the relative file path, then you get the full path, okay, call file relative name, relative path, file name file name directory, then buffer file name, okay, then now evaluate the buffer, call the command, do it. Okay, so show in browser, show the message path, show the message buffer, so it says empty, so it's actually empty. So why is full path empty? File name relative, file relative name, file name and directory. Okay, we got the file name, we got the directory. So why is this empty? Let's try again. Eval the buffer, call the command, do it. So wait, something is wrong here. Hello Zama, Hamza, full path. So why is this we got the full path, okay, full path. Did we spell something wrong? No. and we set the boundary, we set the begin and end, and relative path. So I don't know, let's debug. Okay, let's debug. Okay, eval the buffer, call the command, do it. There is, you see, this is supposed to be interpreted here, but it's not even getting a value. What's going on? Eval the buffer, call the command, do it. Okay, something is wrong. I don't know what. It's printing this. So somehow the value of 333 got set to the relative path. What? That's really odd. What? So somehow, you see, somehow this 333 got set to this variable. How did that happen? I don't know. So let's print. Let's say something. Okay, now this message xBegin is xBegin. Okay, evaluate the buffer, meta x, call the command, show. So xBegin, okay, there. So xBegin is 439. Oh, I got it. I think I know what's going on. Yeah. So what is going on is that, you see, when you call bound of thing at point, file name, and when our file is over here, I mean, when our cursor is over here, then we call the file name. Then we are basically asking Emacs to get this thing as file path. That is why it's printing the weird thing. So the file path is actually this. So what we need to do is actually go to an actual file path like here. So now we call it, okay, do it. So now show the message buffer. So you can see now this is correct. Relative path, full path is still wrong. Okay, but anyway, we are getting somewhere. So you see relative path and full path. Okay, so let's fix that. Let's remove the messages. Okay, so we got the file name. Oh yeah, the full, so relative path is that, right? Buffer substring, no properties, yeah. Then full path is file relative name. Let's check describe function, file name directory. Okay, so it should return the full path. Okay, so it's eval the buffer, go to this here, open it, close it, call the command, do it, show in browser. I mean, show the message buffer. The full path is still incorrect. So why is it incorrect? God, this is unexpected. So what is the Let's do it again. Eval the buffer, go here, call the command, do it. Show the message buffer relative file. So it didn't change. You see, it didn't change. So it didn't change. So this full path has no effect. Buffer file name. File name directory buffer file. Let's try that. Yeah, annoying. So okay, let's do some debugging. So let's copy that. Okay, split, and let's just put code here. So if we evaluate this, what we get? Yeah, Talk Show directory, that is correct. Now, what is relative path? Bound of thing. We are taking a file name here. You can supply an argument. So anyway, so let's go. So what is the? So this is correct. This part is correct. Relative path is also correct. Then what? Then why is this? So let's test here. So cut that. This is the relative path, and now evaluate this block. Okay, you see it didn't change correctly. Now what is, so let's try again. Paste. Now let's evaluate that part. That part is that. Okay. So this. So now let's evaluate that. It didn't change. Oh, it didn't, obviously, because we are requesting a relative name. We want the full name. Yeah, you are, you are onto it. So yeah, we called the wrong command. That's basically. So let's remove that. It's my my error, my silly mistake. Obviously, it doesn't work because we are asking for relative name. We should be asking a full path. Okay, so we want to turn relative to full path. So how do you do that? I have to think, but one way to find out, go to Emacs Lisp tutorial, go to file path, user input, file buffer, file directory, file path. So all functions about file path. So you get file name directory, file name non-directory, file name extension, file name sans extension, relative path, file relative path, expand file name. That's right, forgot. So expand file name, that will return a full path. So yeah, so basically you just same argument but change the function. So that's what we want. So describe function to look up documentation, correct. Okay, so now remove this part, prettify the code, prettify, remove the debugging thing we don't need. I'm pretty sure it'll work. Evaluate the buffer. So this is the whole code. Let's just evaluate the whole buffer. Go to a HTML file, put a cursor on a file path on a link, call it, do it. Now show in browser. Fuck, we removed the print messages, idiotic. So anyway, that should work. Okay, so let's just print it. eval the buffer, try it again, do it. Okay, it shows. You see, this is the file full path for this related path. Okay, now we got the file full path. What's the next step? Next step is to, oh yeah, we need to do rename. Oh my god, this is gonna be 20 more minutes. So far so good. Ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT won't work. ChatGPT is like gives you, it would give you an outline of what to do. Kind of, and sometimes you just hallucinate. That's what they call. So, it'll give you a function that doesn't exist. Things like that. So if you are, if you don't know a programming language, let's say I'm learning F#, for example, and I want to code something, it's good for learning. So if I want, in a new language I don't know, I want to see how do you do find replace, or how do you open a file, you can ask ChatGPT. That's very helpful, but it's not really helpful for actual coding. Despite there's a lot of fat idiots. They are saying, "Oh, ChatGPT Copilot, you're gonna revolutionize the coding industry." No, that's false. Okay, those are idiots. AI is almost never going to replace coding. Okay, never produce actual valid code. I mean, never say never, but it's we got a long way to go. So anyway, for example, we can try how to open a file in F#. Okay, in F#, you can open a file using system.io namespace. Here are a few ways to do it. It kind of help you. So, but if I, for short things like that, it'll probably work. So anyway, so back to Emacs. We got a lot to do. So we got the file path. Now we want to get the let's annotate. Okay. Okay. So next thing we want to do is get link text. Okay, so link text is when you have a link, this part is a link text. Okay, so how do you do that? Yeah, it's a bit tedious. Okay, so here's the example URL. So you want to get the link text. Okay, so so we create a mini program block here. So you basically you want to, okay, so let's instead of let's say the let. Okay, beginning and end boundary, just like before. So what you how do you do that? You can here's how you do. Okay, search forward for the greater than sign that will move the cursor to the beginning of the link text. Okay, bounds we don't care about those. Okay, then set x begin to point. Point is the current cursor position. It's an integer. Okay, then search forward for the closing, for the beginning of the closing tag. Okay, so we want to search forward for less than sign. Okay, then set x end to be match beginning. Okay, So that means the beginning of the last match position. Okay, 0 is the whole match. Okay, that means just set the point over there. So then you need another variable, link text. Okay, so let's go to the top. Let's say add link text. Okay, that's the link text. Okay, now you just set link text to buffer substring no properties. Buffer substring no properties. Okay, x begin, x end. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, let's just shorten this. Okay, so we got the code. Go to the, so here's the whole code. Okay, so now we got the link text. What's the next step? Oh my god, now we have to start to do find replace. Okay, so oh my god, this is actually quite involved. It'll take another 20 minutes. Hello guys, how am I doing? Am I doing good? How many people? 11. Not too bad. Okay, let's continue. Okay, we got the, so here's a whole code for today. Okay, so now we got the link text. Now next step is to now do find replace for all web router. Okay, god. So first of all, find string. You need to get the find string, then get replace string, create replace string. Then you need to get the router. Okay, web root. So to do find replace, you need kind of three things: find string, replace string, and root directory. And also we assume file name extension, assume .html files. Okay, so we need to now do find replace. Oh god, this is tedious. Then we need to do backup. Okay, first of all, find string. Yeah, find, oh god. So to get the find string, you need to, okay, so now let's make this program into a block of code. So kind of a mini program. So we have our code organized. Each algorithmic unit is, in a block. So, and you need to find string, replace string, and router. So let's say let. Okay, so actually, so let's just say let find, replace, and router. Okay, so a few variables. So how do you get the find string? So if we look back at this, so usually, typically, the find string will be that. Okay. Yeah. Do you typically like this? Okay. Because you want to grab all links, of this form for any directory. You cannot use full path because the the relative path will be different depending on which file links to it. For example, that in another directory it could be like that. In another directory it could be like that. You see, so you need to get all these possibilities. So yeah, so it's okay. So you want to so what we have here, relative path, full path, and you need to so you got a link text, you got a full path. Full path is the things you need to change. Current file path. Okay, so you need also current file. Let's just say that. Okay, so current file path will be very simple. Current file path will be that. Buffer file name. That is a current buffer files path. Okay. The relative path is the path you wanna change. Okay, so we getting we started to need to organize our code because it's getting big. So anyway, so it's relative path. Okay, so you got the relative path, which is like, we have an example here, yeah, which is like that. Okay, so let's set the find string. Okay, the find string will be relative path. You need to get the last component of that. Okay. So let's go back to reference. My reference or file path functions. You need the file name non-directory. Okay, so you need to file name non-directory. Okay, for example, that if you run it, you just get the file name part. That's what you want. Okay, so file name non-directory of the relative path, then you need to add a greater than equal sign. Then you, for example, let's put that here. Then you need to add a concat string. Okay, then you need to get link text. Then you need to add a ending that ending tag. Okay, so this whole thing you need to concat them. Okay, join string. So there, so cut that, put it here, prettify the code, so it's like that. Okay, make sure that's correct. So you got relative path, then find string. So find string, let's rename it. okay, and this will be replace string. Okay, so find string would be that, and this can be just one single line. Then you gotta find string. What is a replace string? Okay, replace string. Okay, set replace string. You need to ask the user. Okay. Okay, so how do you prompt user for replace string? Let's say new title. Okay, so replace string changes to new title. So you need to prompt user. So what you can do is read string. So this will prompt user to type a new title. So okay, so prompt new title. Okay, then let's say we don't care about anyone with that. Okay, so it will prompt user for a new title, then just okay, so you got a new title, then you now do find and replace for all in root. Okay. Okay, so far so good, but let's test our code. You know, we can, when you code Emacs Lisp, you can always like test as you go. So for example, right now we can print the find string and print the new title. Okay, so let's do it here. So messages, this will be x find string is that. Then we also want to print x new title. Okay, okay, so there it is, our whole code. Now let's evaluate the buffer. Fantastic. Go to a HTML file. Let's put what is this? This is today's talk show. Okay, let's put the cursor here. Now let's call it. Do it. Okay, it asks you new title, XXX. Okay, do it. Okay, debugger entered void variable x find string. Okay, we forgot something. Void variable. Oh, because this is because we didn't put. We need to. You see, this is a let block, so those are local variables find string. But this needs to go inside. Okay, cut. Now go. You need to go inside where? Yeah, here. Okay. Evaluate the buffer, go back here, put the cursor here, call the command. Wait, show the pink window, call the command, do it. New title, let's say YYYYY, enter. Okay, looks like it worked. Show message buffer, so you can see find string is this. Okay, new title is this. Fantastic. Okay. So far so good. So next step is to do the actual find replace for thousands of files in a directory. Okay, drink. Comments and questions. Am I doing good? Okay, let's go back to code. Hello, Janice. Yeah, let's go back to code. Now do the find replace. Okay. God, tedious and tedium. Yeah, if I code by myself, then it's much faster. I don't have to explain. I just, so live stream is a bit slower by quite quite a few times, by 5 or 10 times, because if I just code it, then you wouldn't understand. I mean, so why don't I just code it without doing any explanation for a change? Because we've been doing this already an hour. So let's just try to code, finish it fast, okay? So now get the directory, get list of files in root, okay? So let me just code it. So I don't remember. So list of directories. So file path work directory, yeah. So directory files. So directory files recursively. Directory files recursively. Actually, we have used. Let's just copy code, okay? Talk show, last talk show. Yeah, in fact, last talk show, we just did it here. So because it's tedious, because we need to ignore the getter. So yeah, so there it is, directory. Yeah, this is what we want. Yes, cut it, close back here. So that is what we want. So we need a file list, declare a new variable file list where, so here, okay. So file list will be clean up the code, directory file recursively, root, okay, just quote. So what, root, okay, so here is the regular expression. In this case is .html $. Okay, OBS got an issue. Are we back? Let's check my status. OBS got an issue. Okay, we are back. Stream settings, stream health. Okay, we are back. So we get the root directory of all HTML files, and include directories, no, nil, and predicate, yes, that, okay, and follow sim links, no. Okay, so this is a file list. Okay, so get list of files in a root directory. Then next is to open each one. Okay, okay, for each file you open it. So what is the idiom for quickly opening files? So let's see, work directory, then go back to read file. Okay, so read file. So this is how to quickly open file, not using find file. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so insert file content X, then here is where we do find replace. Okay, so we open the file, temporary file, then we do find replace. So we got the find string, yes. Let's see. Oh, okay, so they are inside there. So all this needs to move inside. Okay, so gonna move inside. Okay, so new title, we get a new title, we get a file list in root directory, then we start to do find replace. For each file in the file list, we create a temp buffer, we insert the file content, then we do find replace. Okay, so first of all, go to char point minimum, that's the beginning of the buffer, then search for word for find string. Okay, search for word for the find string, and bounds nil, no error, true, because some files do not contain the link. Then if found, okay, you need to say while. Okay, so while search for word, then replace match by x new. Okay, so replace match will be, you need to create a string, not just the title. Okay, so concat. Okay, we need to generate the string. Okay, this is taking longer than expected. So here's the example. So concat. So you want to concat. Fucking shit. Okay, let me just do this quickly. This find string, so let's ask the new title first. Okay, ask the new title first, then you declare a replace string. Okay, find string and declare a replace string. Okay, then you so that's a find string, and the replace string is going to be, replace string is going to be, here's a new title. Okay, so it's basically same as find string except the title part. Okay, so here is our replace string. Fantastic. Now go back here. So now we do the find replace. So replace match by simply the replace string. Okay, fixed case yes, literal yes. Okay, so that prettify the code, that prettify the code. I think that's it. So okay, so we got map this function to all files in this directory, and for each file we create temp buffer, we insert file content, then we do find replace, go to the beginning of buffer, and for each find string we found, we replace it. So if that is true, we need to know if it's actually made any change. So you can say, so you need to declare. Okay, so let's declare a new local variable. So changed. Okay, so if it's found, you replace it and set changed to true. Okay, then if if changed is true, you want to write to file. Okay, so you say write buffer. Okay, write region. That's how you write buffer. That's how you save something in buffer to a file. Okay, so write region from beginning of buffer to end of buffer, the whole content, and file name will be x. Yeah, x is the file name. Append no, visit no, log no, must renew no. Okay, that's it. This will just change all. Okay, we can actually try it, but we must be very, very careful because we are not making any backups. Because this is just going to go through thousands and thousands of files in in my web directory. So okay, but here's a whole code. Okay, so here's a whole code. Basically, let's eval the buffer. Let's make a backup, go to the dir jump and go to the directory, and let's compile the code. Byte compile. Yes, compile successfully. Why do I compile? Because usually when you byte compile, it'll tell you any errors like syntactical errors and such. Anyway, it checked out. So I think this is the code. So now we just need to actually test it. So make a backup, pop it back, syntax correct, show in browser. So here's today's talk show, and here's the code. Okay, it should work. It should work, but now we need to test it. Okay, so let's test it. Okay, let's say thing at point. Okay, open that, show in browser. So this is about using thing at point page. So copy the file path, and let's go somewhere. Okay, let's go to my computer programming blog, show in browser. So that's what I'm working on today, and let's just say add a test here, test. Okay, then link it, show in browser. So you see, now let's say I want to copy the file path, go back to talk show, and put it here. Okay, so but now this time let's say SSS. Let's say that. Okay, so show in browser. So we created a new link to some page on my website. So we are going to try to run the command. So whenever it sees a link to this specific file with this specific link text, then it's gonna replace it. Okay, so let's go back to the other place to make sure. Not here. Yeah, here. So show in browser. So we got a link in two different directories. One is this program. Both contain this link. Okay. So close this page. So now we can try our command. Okay, but before we try, let's double check, because I always double check before I run. But that should be it today. So okay, let's just try it then. Okay, so go back here, put the cursor here, call the command, HTML rename title all, yes, and new title, let's say y, for y. Okay, enter. Wrong type of argument, directory file name nil. Okay, we got an error. File name recursively. Okay, we got error from here. Directory file name recursively. Okay, you can press enter to jump to it. No, not here. It jumped to the okay, close that. So let's go back to our code. This is the problem now. Directory file recursively. Oh, we didn't define router, did we? No. Okay. Yeah. Well, the router, it should be the web root. So that depends on each person. Where's your router? For me, let's just hard code it. Okay. So router is going to be that. Okay. you know, because root directory basically you have to define. There's no other way. There's no automatic way. You have to define what is the web root directory. Ching, 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 ching. Okay, so now we got a root eval the buffer. Go back here. Let's try again. Okay, call the command. Yes, do it. New title. Let's say y. Enter. Enter. Okay, now it's gonna search 1,000, 10,000 files, 20,000, 30,000 files. So all links of this elisp SSS should be y now. Please don't screw up. Please don't screw up. This is taking longer than expected. I hope there's... Nah, okay, let's exit. Okay, it seems... What did it do? Okay. Saving file, talk show, okay. Close that, go back to the code, go to the programming block. Did it change? No. Okay, make a backup list. Go back to talk show, make a backup, go back to the code. So we got a root directory. So make sure the last step, okay, here. File list. Is the file list correct? I think so. But this part is like very questionable. I mean, this part is the heart of the code and dangerous. So when it's changed in write to region, because it can potentially destroy or erase the thousands of files. So you want to be careful here. Oh, okay, I know what's wrong. So when you have a temp buffer, you see, but here you are calling write region point min and point max. So this part needs to go inside the temp buffer. Yeah. Okay. So now it should work. Eval the buffer. I want to be very careful because I don't want to erase my 10,000 files. So you know, should work though, but let's comment this out for now. Okay, comment this write file out. So for now, let's just say message. Okay, wait. So when it's changed, let's just say message changed path. Okay, let's just print that message. Prettify the code, eval the buffer, go to backup, and byte compile, no error, good. Close. Back to here. Now let's test it. Now programming block, we don't care. Close it. Go back to talk show. Put a cursor here. Call the command. HTML rename title or do it. New title. Let's say M all the way. Do it. Done. Okay. Now go to messages buffer. Why is it no, it doesn't seems to have done anything. Okay. Go back here. Okay, so let's message. Checking file X. It should print it. Okay. Evaluate the buffer. Go here, test it again, call the command. Let's double check. So if it's changed, I mean change is a local variable, right? Yeah. So okay, so but for now, let's change the root directory so it's not, so it doesn't go over my roots. Let's just work in the talk show directory. Okay, evaluate the buffer, because now in talk show directory it's only for 1,000, 2,000 files instead of 10,000 files. So we narrow down the possibility of error. So evaluate the buffer, go back here, call the command, do it. New title, let's say HHH. Fantastic. Now show messages buffer. Fantastic. So you can see, it's going through each one of them. Okay. Now, but it didn't say when it's changed. So close that. Go back to the code. So it didn't say when there's changed found. So it's checking the file, temp buffer, do find replace, go to the beginning, insert file contents. Yes, go to the beginning, then search forward for the find string. That's right. Replace match. So what is the find string? So let's print. We haven't. Yeah. So let's print the find string. Let's see what exactly is the find string. Did we get the link text? Yes. Wait, the link text is wrong. Wait, the link text should be correct. So let's print the find string, okay? Evaluate the buffer, go here, put the cursor here, call the command, do it. New title, HHH, okay? Now go to the message buffer. Now where does it say the link string? There it is. Find string equals to that. Okay, so the find string is correct. Yes, the find string is correct. Now close that, go to the code. The find string is correct. However, it does not seem to ever found it. Why? It should, because we got the we got the occurrence right here in the talk show directory. Okay, this is taking too long. So find string, search for find string is why is it never found? God. Let's run this again. Let's say not that. Call it, do it, show, go here, okay, but apparently the find string is correct, but it seems to never actually found that string in all these files. Okay, now can we list matching lines? Okay, that's incorrect. Oh, we forgot this double quote. What the fucking shit? Our coding error. Okay, the find string needs to have a double quote here. Okay, so it needs to be that and quote. Okay, yeah. So it needs to have that, and same thing for the replace string. You see, because that's this double quote. Okay, now evaluate the code. Now let's not print the file names. Evaluate the code, go back here, put the cursor on this link, call the command, do it. New title, let's say CCC this time. Do it. Okay, it says changed. Switch to messages buffer, so apparently it worked. You see, it worked. So, but it didn't write to the file. So now we need to write to the file. So now write to the file, and now also change the root directory to the real XORI info. Okay, evaluate the buffer. Go back here. Now open messages buffer. Clear it by just closing it. Put the cursor here. Call the command. Do it. New title. Let's say do it. Fantastic. Now you see it changed the current one, and now let's go to the programming block. We can actually go to the browser here. You see XOR programming block. There's elisp SSS. Now refresh. Fantastic. So our job is done. So this command, let's put it back. Syntax correct, showing browser. So this code, XHTML rename title all, we will go through 10 or 20,000 of files in your web directory and just rename them all. One shot. So let's try, okay? Now let's do a real test. Let's go to, for example, I want to show you a real test. So for example, I have here a link. This is XR Music of exotic songs. I have a blog about humanity and songs. I make analysis and comments on the song and lyrics. So what I want is, for example, the Diva dance song from the Fifth Element. This is a very incredible song because they sing in a pitch beyond human capacity. But in this case, this is actually computer-generated singing by a synthesizer. By the way, this is very good, to watch this because this is, like humanity, liberal arts, the singing, human singing performance opera, but beyond humans' capacity of the speed of changing pitch and also the pitch, the highness of the pitch. But anyway, in the movie, they use the computer to actually generate. This is very interesting because not just the computer generated singing, to write this music in such a high pitch, difficult part, but also relates to opera and the history of opera. For example, such difficult part of an opera is called mad scene. Okay, that's a name in opera. It's called mad scene, where you write a section of the opera that tries to demonstrate this performer's singing capabilities. Usually very difficult. But then we also actually have a actual human. There's a lot human tries to sing this song, as best as they can. It actually is not possible, but they try. So she so far is the best one. Human performance of the Diva dance song. So anyway, that's a digression. So what I want to do is, is to let's go back. So go to my music blog. Okay, so open it, show in browser. So I want to, for example, this link, I want to add this musical symbol. So that means whenever you see a link with the musical symbol at the end, that means that has music in it. Okay, so I want to rename all links to this file by now having a symbol. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, before we do that, we need to change the code a little bit because this is in a different directory. So root directory is different. So this is not XR info, but XR org. Okay, save it, evaluate it. Okay, now let's do it. Rename title all. Yes. New title. Okay, new title is gonna be copy that, paste it here, Unicode insert, music symbol, do it. So there it is. Okay, enter. Okay, it's doing it. Fantastic. You see, lots of files are changing. Is it done yet? Not yet. Done. Okay, you see, refresh, there it is. And go to the messages buffer. You can see all these wrote. That's that's all changed file. So let's do these matching lines. So there are 20 files that changed. For example, let's go to one of them. Let's see, Bohemian Rhapsody. Open it, show in browser. So that's another interesting song. and in this file contains the link to that there. Wait, where is the fifth element? There it is. So it changed. Fantastic. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. How many people watching now? Let's see. 6 stream settings, analytics, 10. Fantastic. We're done. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, buy my stuff, of course. So we're shutting down in 1 minute. So you go to Saudi code, go to all the way down. You can Patreon me, Amazon gift card me, or gift card or PayPal, okay? And also you can buy my Emacs tutorial and together and with Emacs Lisp. You can find the link just by go to my Emacs homepage, table of contents, all the way at the bottom, buy Emacs tutorial. Thank you guys. That's it. Any questions? Oh, that's wow, that's 90 minutes of actually coding. So this is a code. Now put it back, syntax correct, showing browser, so you guys can grab it and study it or actually use it if you have like HTML static website.